Good evening. The meeting is now called to order. This is the Education, Youth, and Family Services Committee meeting for November 12th, 2025. I am the chair, Councilmember at Large Letitia Bracy. At this time, I will take the roll for those members of the committee first. Vice Chair Alexander Hackett, Councilwoman Michelle Harley, Councilwoman McCoy, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilman Owens, President Congo. As a friendly, well, there's no other committee members here yet, but as a friendly reminder, only members of the committee should be making motions and seconding. So we will get started with the agenda. First, we have a resolution approving the Department of Parks and Rec's amended grant application for the state of Delaware. Is there anyone on from Parks and Rec to speak to this grant? Okay. If not, we will move on since it's a resolution and it doesn't need to be voted out. It is approving an application in the amount of $100,000 for improvements to Eastlake Park. And so this will be on the next city council agenda. I think that's the only piece of legislation that we have. So we'll start with our presentations. And we're going to start with I Am My Sister's Keeper, Ms. Charlotte and her team. Welcome. You can come up and either sit or you can stand. Totally up to you. Welcome.
Thank you for having us. I am Charlotte Miller-Lacey, and I am the founder and National Executive Director for I Am My Sister's Keeper, as well as the MSK Community Center. Are you going to show the slide first, or? Did you want to show the slide? How?
Yep.
Okay, we're showing.
Yes, they're up
The
there.
opportunity to go through.
Need a copy of them?
Thank you.
Yep, we can see it.
You can see it? Okay. But as it says, on Monday, January 16th, 2022, the ribbon cutting, and the MSK Community Center officially opened its doors, becoming the only safe, accessible community space for residents in the neighborhood. Located in the economically disadvantaged area, the MSK Community Center has quickly become a beacon of hope and activity, recognizable by its bright pink doors. Our mission is to address the most pressing needs of our community, including food insecurity, poverty, education around mental, physical, and emotional health. And you can see our metrics that are there. So with this slide, we can go through, but what I would like to do is invite our sponsors, invite our community, invite the people who invest in us and bring their children to tell the story of I Am My Sister's Keeper and the MSK Community Center, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
If
That's
that's
okay.
okay.
And I'd like to recognize Councilman Owens, who is online.
First I'm going to bring would be Regina Butcher, who is a board member and a community advocate.
Feel free. Yep, you can sit.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know, I Am My Sister's Keeper, and I Am My Sister's Keeper Community Center is where I choose to volunteer and partner with. You know, we are impacting in our children's lives. Actually, we are the bridge between home and community. We are a safe haven. You know, what we're putting in now, I've seen the effects of being 10 years and 3 years at the community center. We have people coming back and bringing their children because what the community center offers. You know, is when you get to mentor a child, it's a blessing to be able to pour in, to plant seeds, to help them grow. And we have expectations. You know, they follow the rules, they're learning, they're growing, they're evolving, and you know, and where we're located at in the Hedgeville section, kids get to walk there. You know, families are thriving. They come in, they get services. You know, it's a 7-day-a-week program. You can't say that. You know, even watching the kids discover how to plant, you know, their flowers and their vegetables from the garden and coming into programs that we can see there is an outcome, not just a program that just started and changed, but we can see the kids, the way they come in and hug, the way they come in, they learn, the way they come in after school, they look forward to I Am My Sister's Community Center. I started as a volunteer. I got asked to speak, but coming in, I fell in love with the program and what it offers, the pillars that it stands for, the expectations and the values that is given. And you know, the community center, I've seen where we had a program and kids come knocking on the door just so they can come in because they're safe. You know, I think it's a duty that we make sure our kids are safe. And I, My Sister's Keeper Community Center is that place. And you know what? It's valued. And, you know, I thank Miss Charlotte for the seed that was planted in her and how it's continuing to grow and how the kids, they get asked, how was your day? You know, they get a hug, how are you? They come in and the center is a safe haven. That's the only thing I could say about I Am My Sister Keeper, the programs, and you're safe. In Delaware, we need that for our kids.
Next, we'll have Pastor Bernadette Mills, who is a volunteer and also a community partner.
Ms. Miller, do you mind if I stand?
Oh, you can sing.
Excellent. Good afternoon to the county council, city council. As she stated, I'm Bernadette Mills. In addition to being a volunteer and a partner, I'm here today for two reasons. One, because of who Charlotte Miller Lacey is, a woman of integrity, commitment, passion, who has invested her entire self back into the community to ensure that students have a different outcome than what some of us have experienced. Today, I'd like to acknowledge I am a wife of almost 35 years with children from age 26 to 32. Each of them are college graduates. Each of them have written their own book or are writing or doing their own business. One was Miss Delaware and just participated in Miss USA. I'm not saying that to boast about Bernadette. What I'm saying that about is I grew up like the children that attend I Am My Sister's Keeper in the city of Chester. The difference was the programs that Miss Charlotte Miller Lacey is offering. My mother and my husband's mother, single parents, my mother with an 8th grade education, both of us in public housing in the projects in the city of Chester. Imagine I did not have the program like an I Am My Sister's Keeper. But those programs were instituted right at the time that I needed them the most because my mother was not capable of providing for me the safe haven, the sustainability, the security that's being provided here by Miss Charlotte Lacey, Miss Charlotte Miller Lacey. And we know now, currently, in the state of Delaware, the statistics in the 45th percentile in terms of education, where we are as a state. Imagine those students not having the access to the programs that's being provided. The Annie Casey Foundation, the research shows 1 in every 2 students, that's 50%. If they get exposure to the programs that she's providing, that shifts their outcomes measurably. It's not something they're made up. The data supports it. And it's not a babysitting center. It's where they grow, develop, evolve, get exposure, and then they get traditional and non-traditional education. They've been exposed to going to the Poconos. They've been exposed to going to the Broadway shows. When they come in, not only the student, but the parent gets the opportunity to be exposed to these privileges, not just for their children, but for themselves. Then they get to learn how to communicate, how to look somebody in the eye and shake their hand and understand what that means. They get to be able to say, hello, how was your day today? Not just yes and no answers, but what did you learn? Imagine a child being exposed, their brain being expanded. They are seeing themselves in their future, not just their present. They're in an environment that cultivates beauty, in an environment that cultivates agriculture. They get to use their hands. They get to see that they're a part of a contribution positively to a community that sometimes does not always give them the best reputation. But they get to be a part of something that's powerfully positive. 2019, we were at 26th percentile in education. Today, 45th percentile. Imagine being a part of a team or a political council that's able to say, on my watch, we made the difference in the life of the next child. That was the difference for my husband, myself, and my 5 change agent children that would not have had that opportunity had I not had those programs. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. And before the next speaker, I'd like to acknowledge Councilwoman Michelle Harley.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next, we'll have Jerry Heisler, Raybold, CEO of Raybold Group and one of our signature sponsors.
Welcome.
Thank you in allowing me to speak today. My name is Jerome Heisler with the Raybold Group. I have been involved with this organization almost since the beginning of it. And Charlotte, first of all, does an amazing job. But I think the most important thing to understand about what MSK does is that there's a vacuum in this area, and she fills the vacuum. So the question is, are we better off with MSK or worse off with it? And substantially better off. There's over 800 people participating in the organization. It provides a menu of different opportunities for different age groups, including seniors. It's concerned about personal hygiene. It's concerned about mental health. It's concerned about how to get people involved in dealing with issues and other people and giving them, most of all, self-esteem and confidence. Especially young children, they learn confidence and self-esteem just through participating in after-school sports or summer activities. And that is nowhere to be found in this area, nowhere to be found. So the question is, if MSK is not there, what replaces it? And that's a really, really scary thought, because now there's nothing to fill people's time, and small kids' time. And as a result, they're going to go different ways, which we don't want. They're going to learn different behaviors we don't want. So as a result, MSK is filling a lot of voids, a lot of vacuums that exist. And because of that, we need it. And we need it to help the city of Wilmington out. We need it to help the state of Delaware out in Newcastle County. And we need the proper funding for it to exist. Our ask is, how can the city, the county, and the state provide the resources we need to continue and have our organization to contribute to the community, to stabilize it for one, so it doesn't deteriorate socially. We don't want that to happen. We want people to be respectful. We want people to be participating in our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Judge Chapman, Potter Anderson Law Firm, another one of our signature sponsors.
Thanks. My name is Bill Chapman. I'm the Chief Diversity and Director of Pro Bono Services at Potter Anderson. And from 1995 to 2015, I had the honor of serving on the family court. Love kids and have dedicated a large portion of my life to working with young people. And I just want to pick up on a couple of those themes that have been mentioned. First is that idea of falling in love with Miss Lacey and what Miss Lacey does. There is a partner at our firm, Joy Barris. Really, I don't know how you describe her, a force of nature, but the firm invested in my sister's keeper initially with the Tea Party. And so we had a budget and we had our young associates. And you know, as a servant leader, that you always get more than you give, right? So there are young associates in our office, in particular African-American women, who have been to the Tea Party, and then they get benefit from seeing young people that look like themselves and mentoring. So that's the first piece. And then when the community center comes, I don't know if you have it on the slide, but there's a Potter Anderson Legacy Lounge, Literacy Lounge, right? So then you have to show up, right? You got your name there, you got to walk the walk and talk the talk. So you go there, and Charlotte will tell you. So I go to read, and you meet some of the other people. Brandon Fletcher was running for city council. All these other people are there, and it's safe. You go in, there's security there. And then I go to the gym, and I can't leave because it's great vibes. It's great energy. And a quick story about leaving it better than you found it and what replaces it. So we're shooting around with the young lady, and she says, and she's giving the guys the business. I mean, she can play. And turns out she played at Hudson. Well, my AAU coach, my daughter played on AAU, and now he was a coach. So these connections get made. And Charlotte will tell you, I've got to be kicked out of there, basically, because it's such a good vibe place. It's such a good vibe place. And we're doing a lot of work with Action for Delaware Children, and it is a real problem. And I think I don't know if you've been to the center. Okay,
Yes, I have.
so you know what we speak there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Ashley Harris, who is a mother, a community center member, a volunteer, and a 6th district resident.
Stand right.
Okay.
Good evening.
Evening.
I'm here. I'm first going to talk about me being a part of the MSK Center as a parent. The members have talked a lot about the MSK Center in general, but I stand on many platforms at the MSK Center just as a parent. I have 3 girls along with another line of youth that attend the MSK Community Center on a Monday through Friday, every first and third Saturday and every Sunday, because they love the MSK Center. I, as a parent, I get off of work at 4 o'clock. My kids are calling me. Can I go to the MSK Center? Yes. I'll be there to pick you all up at 7:30, my whole army, because that is where they go to enjoy themselves after school. They love it there. The activities that are provided for them on a Monday through Friday basis are phenomenal. My girls have just completed a cosmetology course. They are junior cosmetologists.
Oh.
They have received their certificates. They are telling me, Mommy, I can do your lashes. They want to use me as a mannequin. I don't mind. My oldest daughter, she is an upcoming cosmetologist, and she utilizes every opportunity that she has at the MSK Community Center to strengthen her skills. I resource MSK Community Center on multiple occasions, being as an adopted family from Joy. I have resourced the MSK Community Center in a hardship with paying down utility bills, where they say there's services and then they deny you. I turned to MSK Community Center and they were able to pay my utility bill down to 0. Also, as a mother, I utilized the MSK Community Center for myself because I didn't have this growing up. Even though I'm a child that was raised in the city, back then it was go to school, go home, and wait for your parents to get home. I wasn't able to go to summer camp. I wasn't able to go run to the community center as a youth and be there until my parent picked me up. I would like to change that with my kids. So yes, they go to the community center every day, 5 days a week until 7:30. They're there right now. So they are doing cheer practice right now because they look forward to the exposure, the inclusion, and building confidence in themselves. I also volunteer on first and third Saturdays for the I Am My Sister's Keeper Sister Circle. I wore my pink hoodie because that's what that represents. I wear pink for a purpose. I don't wear pink any other time because I have 3 girls. I don't do the pink, but I wear my pink hoodie for a purpose. And in Sister Circle, we build confidence. We build on communication. We build on a sisterhood on every first and third Saturday. And I am there for that, for my girls and the other girls of the community and myself, because I don't have any sisters. So when I see the young ladies and I see the older ladies and the volunteers that I collaborate with, they are my sisters. From 9:30 to 12:30, the sisterhood is there and it is strong. And that's it. I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'm going to have Robin Morgan, who is a community advocate and also a member of the MSK Community Center.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just come on behalf of being a community member and also a grandma that has a child that goes there, and having somewhere for your kids to go is nothing like a peace of mind. So when her face lights up and it's time for her to go to MSK with the other sisterhood, and it's like, I am my sister's keeper, that's what she feels like, because it's a hoodship that they are their sister's keeper. They are mentoring these kids. They're helping them to get self-worth, self-confidence, and building them up to be great leaders. This is why I continue to take my granddaughter over there, because when she walks in the door, she feels loved. And some places that she might go, she might not feel loved. But when she walks in that building, they are showing her love. And if she's running a little late and they don't see her, they're on the phone calling, where are you at? They give you reminders, because sometimes you have a lot of stuff going on and it gets busy. And they're like, okay, where you at? Come on. You still got time, because we are here waiting. So it's not just a community center. It's not just a place to drop your kids off. It's a family there. And this is why I love being there. And Miss Charlotte, she's not just the CEO, but she is there being impactful. Like she was talking about that cosmetology class. She was sitting in the class too, because she was learning right with them. And it's like, how can you be a great leader and you can't be led? And she is there to open-handed, so that, and open-minded for any creativity that anyone may have, that can offer her any assistance, any help. And she's always there. If you have a problem, she's over there to help you resolve it. So she's great at the problem solving and conflict resolution. So if she's great as a leader with that, you know, everyone that's walking in there, they're going to get these tools. And so that's what she brings. Is she brings a wellness of tools that when anybody walks in there, whether it's the little girls or the boys playing basketball with her husband that's coaching them, they all get some kind of tool that they leave out with. So when they get older, they can be someone else's sister's keeper or brother's keeper.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Ms. Chantel Love, our community partner with AmeriCorps, as well as Humbly Assisting Humanity.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I wanted to start by saying I started partnering with MSK at their inauguration when they did the ribbon cutting. So I was an AmeriCorps member, and now I run an AmeriCorps program. So seeing that full circle and seeing how far Miss Charlotte has come has been a great joy to watch, and she's a great mentor for everyone that's around. I echo all of the sentiments here, but I also wanted to touch on the senior community, and that's something that's untouched until MSK came around, and she was adamant about figuring out how to get these folks in the building. So she worked with us at National Health Corps to have our member engage in the senior population, going out in the community and looking for those seniors who might be lonely. There's a loneliness epidemic for seniors and them getting left behind. So I really appreciate them focusing on that area as well as with folks with disabilities. So, you know, they have the Easter seals coming in every so often. Thursdays, yes. And so we're also excited, I don't know if I could say it. Different. Okay, we're going to be working on a community refrigerator in that area as well. So a little bit about my organization, we work to combat food insecurity. So I think given the data and the stats around food insecurity, especially in that zip code, I couldn't think of a better place to partner with and bring that impact to the community. So I'll keep it short and sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, they couldn't be here, but I have a letter from Nemours Children's Health. And it says, Dear City Education, Youth, and Families Committee members, for more than 3 years, Nemours Children's Health has been a proud partner of I Am My Sister's Keeper and the MSK Community Center, two organizations that stand at the heart of community empowerment, education, and wellness in Delaware. Our collaboration spans multiple chapters from Wilmington to Dover, Milford, Sussex County, and Chester, Pennsylvania, reaching hundreds of youth and families each year. Together, we are not only advancing health equity, but also creating environments where young people can grow into responsible, resilient, and respectful leaders. One of the most meaningful outcomes of our partnership is the establishment of the Nemours Children's Health Hygiene Hub, proudly housed at the MSK Community Center in Wilmington. The Hygiene Hub was created to address a critical and often overlooked barrier to health and dignity, access to essential hygiene products for children, teens, and families. Through this initiative, the MSK Community Center provides free items such as soap, toothpaste, deodorant, feminine hygiene supplies, and other personal care essentials to the community members who need them the most. The hub has become a trusted and compassionate resource, restoring confidence, improving school attendance, and promoting overall health and well-being for local families. Beyond the Hygiene Hub, I Am My Sister's Keeper and the MSK Community Center have consistently demonstrated their deep commitment to holistic community care. They offer year-round programs in mentorship, education, workforce readiness, sports, wellness, and senior engagement, and are uniquely known as one of the few community centers in Delaware open 7 days a week. Nemours Children's Health believes that true health care begins where children and families live, learn, and grow. Our continued partnership with I Am My Sister's Keeper and the MSK Community Center exemplifies that belief in action. Their trusted presence and proven impact make them an indispensable ally in building a healthier, more equitable Delaware. We strongly request and recommend that City Council continues supporting and investing in their work, because when organizations like I Am My Sister's Keeper and the MSK Community Center thrive, our entire community benefits. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully submitted, Yvette Santiago, Regional Director, Community Engagement and Impact. When the community center opened 3 years ago, we walked into a building that was a disaster. I remember when Mayor Pazecki came over and he walked through with me, and I told him what my vision was for the building, and he told me I was too ambitious. So that was in September. We closed the building October, November, and December and opened back up for Martin Luther King Day of Service. And he came through and he said, "Oh my God, Miss Lacy, I thought you were one of those dreamers, one of those people that say they're going to do this and do that and never get anything done." He said, "When I walked into this block and saw all the community that was here and everyone that was here and went back into that building," he said, "I was just floored." And he decided to help us some more. I know you have the slides, and I know you have all of the impact, and we've had people that talk here. Our biggest return on investment is when we get students, when we get them to come back and they say, "Miss Lacy, I want to volunteer because this program saved my life. It changed the trajectory of my life." And that comes from really being sincere with our students, with our staff, the people that come through. One of the things I say to them is that they say, "Can I volunteer?" And I say to them, "Come in. I have things for you to do, but I want you to come in and then find your niche, because that means you're going to stay. And that means you're going to be consistent to these kids and to the staff and everyone that's here, and that's how we thrive." We can't do this without city council. We can't do this without county. We can't do this without state. The state that we're in right now, we're trying to survive at the MSK Community Center, and we need your assistance to help us. And that's what I have to say today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'd like to recognize Council President Trippy Congo, who's online. I just want to say thank you for coming in today. We like to use our committee meetings to highlight the great things that are happening in the city, as well as when we're talking about legislation. But it's important that people that are watching see what's happening in our city and see the great impact that you guys are having. Most of us on council are very familiar with you and the work that you're doing, and look forward to continuing to support in even greater ways the MSK Community Center. But really, truly, you guys are a shining light, and all of the work that you're doing is amazing, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And hopefully, everyone that's in the city that's watching or will see the replay will visit, take a tour, go donate, go volunteer, be a part of what's happening in our community. I see Councilwoman Harley has her hand raised.
Yes, Madam Chair, but I can wait for you to finish what you were
Oh,
saying
no,
before.
you have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to start off by saying good evening to everyone. And I would feel remiss not to comment and to say something on behalf of I am my sister's keeper in the MSK Community Center. So I do want to thank Lady Charlotte, first of all, for the investment that she has made in totality as a director, as a mentor to many, and to all those that even share their testimonies tonight. Shout out to Pastor Bernadette Mills and Jerry. I have my own testimony as it relates to MSK. I have visited since its beginning, and truthfully, I have been a regular contributor every budget year since its beginning because I believe in MSK. I have visited many times. I've been invited and visited, and I've listened to the children. I have been there to just be in their midst, to just experience what the children are getting from this program. And so I'm committed for that reason. I'm committed to being a contributor to the organization, mainly because of one reason: the impact on our girls, on our young ladies, and the fact that it is a beacon of light in the city of Wilmington. So I just wanted to chime in and to encourage my council member colleagues to join me in supporting an important, impactful, invested organization that is changing the trajectory of the lives of our children and families in Wilmington. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hurley. Any other council members have any comments? Okay, well, with that, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Oh, Dr. Phillips? Director Phillips? I think you're on mute.
Oh, okay, there I go. Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go. Yep, we hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. So, of course, I was just wanting, I'm here for Parks and Rec business, but I had to just chime in and say, as a co-founder of I Am My Sister's Keeper, I wholeheartedly support it. And, they are an extended partner of Parks and Recreation. In fact, the new youth entrepreneurship business program that is fully sponsored by Parks and Recreation is housed and run out of MSK. A press release was just released last week about that. So, MSK does a lot with Parks and Recreation, and just wanted to share that insight that they are phenomenal partners, including serving as an employer site for many of our youth, and they participate in our nutrition program.
Thank you. All right. With that, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda. Director Phillips, we touched briefly on the resolution, but if you wanted to speak to the resolution to approve a grant application for Parks and Rec, the floor is yours. And if not, no worries.
It was I was connecting as a panelist.
Okay.
So sorry I missed earlier. I was trying to log in. I'm still over here in Turner putting out a few fires. But
Oh,
nonetheless, thank you so much, Councilman Bracy and all council members. Yes, Eastlake Park is getting ready to, it has been properly bid on. We have contract in place. I also just got update from Director Elliott Larkins with Land Use and Planning that the permit is in place as well for much of the park. And so we're just super excited. Eastlake Park has never been revitalized. And so this grant will allow us the opportunity to put more money into Eastlake Park. And if it's already been covered, no problem. But that's just my spiel to make sure that we're able to get this resolution in order to receive this funding funding from DNREC.
thank you. Thank you. And I think this will be on our next council meeting agenda. So it doesn't need to be voted out of committee. So you're good to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good evening.
You too. Next item is a presentation by Malcolm Coley and Ready Prompt One. Welcome.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right, perfect. First off, just like to thank everybody for allowing me to sit in front and present what we would like to do moving forward in the city of Wilmington. Thank you, Councilwoman Bracy, and all the rest of the council folk who are on Zoom. So for the most part, everybody knows me as the CTO of Futures First Gaming, and I want to make sure that I separate the two as we're talking right now. So Futures First Gaming is a conduit to what this can potentially be here with Ready Prompt One, and I have one of my partners here, Mr. Paul Wright from Beyond Frequency. He's a manager partner there. So in a nutshell, we just wanted to we want to present a local AI strategy partnership proposal with the city of Wilmington, Delaware, and obviously Ready Prompt One and Beyond Frequency. Moving forward, before I even really get started, I had my Ready Prompt One summit back in July, and I just wanted to take a moment to thank Councilwoman Bracy and also Councilman Owens for getting behind that and sponsoring. That was a phenomenal thing that you guys did, and I greatly appreciate y'all. And we will be having the second one this summer in July. So we are looking forward to that. So empowering Wilmington with practical and responsible AI. So we have Ready Prompt One, which is my AI company that I created. created, and also Beyond Frequency, and I'll let Paul talk more about Beyond Frequency. But what Ready Prompt One is, it's human-centered AI. It's human-centered AI focused around culture, innovation, and education. So the purpose is to align on partnerships that will help Wilmington just overall build a citywide strategy. And we want to really begin with a 90-day foundation that really focuses on the deliverables of measurable outcomes, a shared roadmap, and a smooth collaboration across all departments and partners. A moment for leadership. I know you guys see my face up there, but we all know how the state is moving in terms of the direction of artificial intelligence. We know that the state has just partnered with OpenAI, so we want to be in a position to really facilitate what the city of Wilmington looks like from a implementing an artificial intelligence roadmap and plan. So the plan is to really use AI as a tool. It's a tool to educate, save time, improve services, and also we want to enhance the lives of the people here in the city of Wilmington. Wilmington can absolutely be in a position to lead this charge, and we really want to be in the position to really lead that particular charge. From the Wilmington City perspective, we want to make sure that the city is operating on a very high level when it comes to artificial intelligence. And also, we want to be in a position to really serve the residents from being able to implement those strategies and also being able to educate as well. So I'm just going to talk about this one particular slide, and then I'm going to give it over to Paul. And what I really wanted to highlight is obviously Paul. Paul brings a wealth of knowledge and experience when it comes to artificial intelligence. As you guys see, he's a very, very, very decorated person when it comes to this particular area in technology, and he's been doing this for over 20 years. He's one of the few 25s on the watch, and he's been experience across multiple companies. Just some to mention: Microsoft, Apple, Open Data Philly, Comcast, NBC, and he's done this innovation across multiple cities across the country. And on my side, when it comes to Ready Prompt One, the goal from an education perspective is to get 20,000 people AI upskilled, fluent, and responsible in the next 2 years. And I know we can absolutely do that with a partnership here with the city of Wilmington, and also being able to execute on a AI roadmap here with the city of Wilmington. So I'm going to sit down because you guys hear me talk all the time on a consistent basis. I'm going to go ahead and let Paul go. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you all very much for the opportunity. Again, my name is Paul Wright, as Malcolm said. My background is in technology and innovation and bringing them together for impact. I've founded a couple companies. I've worked, as Malcolm said, for very large companies, as well as small and locally focused companies and organizations, and some government entities with them through various partners. Before I jump into kind of the detail here, what we're talking about, and how we want to really make Wilmington kind of support a leadership role in AI, I want to just first say I really want this to be a dialogue. I'm not one to just kind of talk and talk and talk. So if you have questions, AI is a big topic. It's an essential and important one, and it doesn't mean one thing. It means different things to different people, and most importantly, it means taking technology in a new way to push the impact that we want to achieve here, not just in Wilmington, but across the state of Delaware. So you can go to the next slide. At the end of the day, before we get into the technology, before we get into the nuts and bolts, I think it's really important to say what you want to achieve through the technology, as Malcolm said. We want leadership. We want to make sure that it's done with efficiency and impact, so kind of the nuts and bolts. We want AI to be the AI strategy of Wilmington to ensure kind of local relevance. Just listening to the My Sister's Keepers people, you want those type of organizations to thrive through the new technology, thrive with it. You want to make sure that it is full of transparency and implemented in an ethical and secure way, kind of across the variety of ways that it can go into the city. You want to make sure, though, that it's done in a measured way. You don't want to just jump into one kind of shiny object to the next shiny object, really want to take the time to figure out what do we want to accomplish, what is most important to you, what's most important to the community, and now we have just a broader tool set in the variety of AI capabilities in order to address them. And that leads to, it's not a single entity. Yes, Malcolm and I are up here kind of pitching that we really want to be your guide through this, but it's really a partnership effort. There's not one overarching AI entity that's going to take care of everything. It's really about what do you want to accomplish and how can you put together the right coalition and manage that coalition to move forward through the capabilities and technologies. So if we go to the next slide, through Beyond Frequency, I founded Beyond Frequency with the sole purpose to bring AI services and AI technology to organizations, government entities, small and medium-sized businesses that want to create local and regional impact. As I said, I've come from the big company world and have spent a lot of time in enterprise. And when AI, and I'm a data geek, so I've been tracking this for many, many years, but when AI came to really kind of fruition a couple years ago, I immediately became both excited and immediately frustrated. Became excited because of the range of power of the technologies and the services and the opportunities it could bring. I became immediately frustrated, however, because all the noise was around, and this is normal, all the noise was around what's Meta doing, what's Google doing, what's OpenAI doing, et cetera. When in reality, as someone who comes from trying to engage in local impact and local service and community impact, I became frustrated that that wasn't what was the story. The story, I believe, that these technologies and these services can bring amazing capacity, increased fulfillment, and increased capabilities to local businesses, small and medium-sized community organizations, and of course, government entities and the services. And so as a result, I founded Beyond Frequency with that in mind. Number one, to help identify through an organization what's most important to you. Forget the technology for a second. Just what's your mission? What's your goal? And now we can figure out what makes the most sense to place an AI solution to help advance that. Number two, to augment that with your mission, with what your community wants to do, what your city wants to do, where can AI best fit? Ready Prompt One is already starting to help train people. I love, Malcolm's, one of the reasons I'm standing here is because his ambitious goal of 20,000 is just so important to upskill folks. But how does that fit in? And then, of course, to start to activate those, kind of those ideas and those tactics. And so that's what Beyond Frequency is founded on. That's what I've had a lot of experience. I almost hate seeing the 20 plus years in print, but I have been doing this a while across multiple technologies, not just AI, and it becomes that much more important. So if you can go to the next slide. So at the end of the day, we're trying to, that measured and thoughtful approach to AI needs to be done and should always be done in a phased way. You don't want to just jump with both feet in to a technology or to a product or to a service without kind of thinking through what you want. So when we think about the first 90 days, that's what it's there to do. Number one, to establish what that strategic roadmap is for the city of Wilmington. What are your goals? Again, forgetting the technology for a second, just what do you want to see? Where do you think the biggest impact can be for government workers, for certain departments, for those that are trying to serve the residents? Number one. Number two, out of that, let's pick one or two kind of concrete things that can be deployed in 90 days. Again, go through the process and really deploy a couple things and start to see what that feedback is like, okay? And then, but in order to do that, making sure that all stakeholders have complete transparency and visibility into what is going on. One of the key things that Beyond Frequency does, we have what we call a readiness portal. Basically, the readiness portal is nothing more than making sure that everything that has been discussed, all the pain points, all the feedback, all of the insights that come from talking with you, the leaders, the other departments, is captured, is scored. The right priorities are put in place, visible to everyone to debate and see where do you want to go first and go second, et cetera. And that transparency of feedback loop has proved to be very critical in making sure that there's a successful, kind of deployment, successful training, successful feedback of what AI is. Because again, remember, AI doesn't mean one thing. It is a platform of a lot of capabilities. So you want to make sure that everyone's aligned on what and when you want to try to accomplish it and with whom. So that first 90 days is about those three things: establish a clear roadmap, deploy a couple things, and make sure that everyone is fully transparent on what's going on. You can go to the next slide. And there's a lot of words on there, but it's really just some of the detail that again, we've seen and executed on the Beyond Frequency side. But again, really focusing on number one, that first couple weeks, what we call discovery or road mapping, which is interviews, it's conversations, it's talking to people, it's listening to what they like, maybe what some of their pain points are, what some of their challenges are, what some of their goals are, and we take that and we score it. We basically transfer kind of that qualitative conversation into kind of what the priorities are in terms of everyone's feedback, everyone's insight, and give that the right priority so we can say, okay, now here are the things that you collectively as a city, you collectively as a council have decided what the priorities are. 1, 2, the last engagement I did had 50 pain points that they wanted to address, and so obviously you can't address 50. So we started going through what those first are, but it provided for fantastic conversation even amongst the team about really what they wanted to accomplish as an organization, and then we can start to move forward. So that first couple weeks is about that discovery. The next couple weeks, 16 days 16 to 45, you see I say training and alignment. I want to really focus on the training aspect. One of the lessons that I've learned over many years, even before AI, and that Malcolm was even bringing up with Ready Prompt 1, is it's you almost get a cart before the horse situation if you jump right into strategy and tactics and what do we want the technology to do if everyone doesn't have a level playing field on what the technology is. What is it? What is it not? What are its capabilities? What are they not? What are the real realities of what it can and cannot do? So that training aspect, everything from basic what the technology does to real life demos and real life insight of here's some tools that are out there now, just to give everyone a living playing field. And what I've learned over many years of doing this is that training piece also sends off light bulbs in people's heads. You can almost see them going on, especially with AI, which is, oh, I didn't know it did that. You know what? Now I can see where this is valuable in my organization or with this little pain point or with this item. So usually that first step that is training, before you even talk about building anything or anything like that, or it's about, hey, let's get everyone a foundational playing field within a department or committee or council, whatever the group is, to do that first. And then that leads to the alignment, right? Which is, okay, everyone kind of knows what we're talking about. They've really given some thought about how it can benefit their department, how it can benefit their service to residents, how it can benefit their impact, and then be aligned on then, get the debate going about what those top priorities need to be so we know what we're going to be releasing with. The third there, days 46 to 75, give or take, the next few weeks, is really about getting these first couple pilots off. So we've decided about what those top priorities are, what those top pain points are. Let's get something up and running so that we can see what's working and what's not. Keep it small, keep it light, keep it kind of quick feedback so you can see the data, make quick adjustments. Not citywide, but pick some subset. Pick some department, pick some organization, committee, what have you, to really deploy a couple of things and really see how that works. And then let that data-driven approach feed the last piece, which is, okay, now we can finalize what the roadmap is. We can finalize what the citywide strategy is and start going through executing a few different phases. So you can go through the next feed. And so, within that, I mentioned that discovery is critical. You can see kind of how some of the example questions that go into discovery and what that readiness portal is on the side. And again, these are very small, so I apologize. But basically, again, the idea being that you have complete transparency across the technologies, complete transparency across the process, complete transparency across the information gathering that's going on. And again, you start small. Again, pick a department, pick a few departments, pick a council committee or what have you, so that you can really see what the impact can be. You can go to the next slide. And then that begins, like I said, a phased process. Right now we're showing over 1 year. This may change in that first phase when we go through 0 to 90. We maybe decide, really, this is 7 phases, or maybe it's 2, or what have you. But the idea being not trying to swallow the ocean at once. It's about really focusing on what's important to Wilmington, what's important to the communities, what's important to the government operations, and addressing them in a methodical way that sees immediate ROI. And that ROI could mean, more impact. It could mean more productivity. It depends upon what we discover during that first phase, but it's all about getting that immediate feedback. And really, that's the overview. I know I didn't spend a lot of time delving into specific technologies, but I'm happy to. What I really wanted to do here with Malcolm is kind of give you the overarching kind of approach. Again, we've been doing this for quite a while, and it is a solid kind of strategy to do it that way. But really now it's about really what's most important to you guys.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Any questions from City Council? Any questions from the public? All right. Well, thank you guys for this presentation. It's really interesting what you're trying to do. I of course attended your conference and learned quite a bit in that day. I was there, so I appreciate you guys taking the time out to present your plan and what you're trying to do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, we do have a question? Marshall?
Yes, Chair. This is, I'm not sure it's more of a question or just more of a general comment is, when you're looking at AI, also we're looking at like how things could be done differently, like with people jobs, like could AI be like more efficient? Not saying we're trying to get rid of people jobs, but if we're looking at like return on investment, if we're looking at how to be more operationally efficient. And I apologize, I couldn't read some of the tiny slides, but that was just more so an overarching comment.
Thank you. I agree.
Just to, I think that's a fantastic jumping point. I think for AI related to kind of local government or local organizations or a city, I think it's an enhancement, 100%. Because at the end of the day, when you're operating a small business, a government, you always have more work than you have people or hours. It's just a reality. And so what AI, again, going through that process, can identify is where are some of those tasks and jobs and areas that are just time consuming. If you can enhance the ability to do them more quickly, et cetera, now that person can do other things that are even more necessary and they just haven't had the time to do. So it's absolutely a net positive on the operational side. And then what I would also say is that training aspect that we're talking about, while I've been talking about it here, mostly in the areas of like government workers, et cetera, what Malcolm's talking about in terms of the 20,000, even just starting with the Ready Prompt 1 last year and next year and the 20,000, that is a incredibly net benefit in terms of upskilling, workers across different industries. Because, AI it's early, but it is growing. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, are there going to be bumps in the road? 100% yes, but it's about giving the people the skills that they are going to be able to use to increase their value here, their value in their job, and get new jobs that come out. So that's absolutely a net positive.
Yep. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Chief of Staff. And I would like to say before he goes, I will definitely make sure that we share this with the administration, because I think this would be, something of interest for the administration to hear about and hear what you're proposing as far as the city or future partnerships or anything of that nature. So I think it will be important for us to make sure that this gets to the Chief of Staff and the Deputy Chief of Staff over on the mayor's side.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Just one really quick question for you both. In looking at your presentation for the 90-day schedule for days 46 to 75, when you mentioned deploying 1 to 2 selective services, could you describe exactly what type of services you all are looking at? Like, what are some examples?
Absolutely, great question. I mean,
good question.
The short answer is it would depend on what happens in the discovery phase.
Yep.
So, but an example could be something as straightforward as, hey, we need a way to kind of automate document ingestion and categorization that would really help open up time to do something else. So it could be an automation. It could be, I'm being very vague because I don't want to dig into it because it really will depend on discovery, but it could be a content generation in terms of, hey, we need a way to make sure that everyone in this department is able to kind of create and share kind of content about what they're receiving from kind of resident input really quickly so that they can act on it. So if you can automate that, then it gives them more time to act on those or something along those lines.
Or something close to. We know human resources here at the city is a big thing, right? So how can we help the human resources department be more efficient in really helping the people get the right benefits, understanding like all the data of the city and how they can best help the city and all of the residents from an HR perspective. There are so many ways that this can do. And like Paul said, it all comes from the discovery phase, right? What is some of those overarching issues that the city is having? And then as we discover, then we start to make the strategy and then implement from there. So we really have to double down on that discovery phase and then go from there.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.